Hey guys, David Green here. I'm actually driving, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of this was not the typical business marketing scenario that you see. What I'm getting ready to do is take you to a place I've been in about 3 years. This is where I used to live. And there are three main lessons, and the reason I'm doing this isn't to be braggadocious. It's actually rather embarrassing. But first one is when to say when. The second lesson is pivot, and the third is investing. So I'm coming up on the subdivision now, so let me just bear with me. If you're catching this from the replay, tap the screen for some hearts, show me a little love. I'm going to share a real personal story. There may be a little drama because I'm going to my old, like I said, subdivision, and my ex-wife still lives there, and I'm just driving by. I won't pick out the particular house, but I'll drive through the subdivision just so you can kind of see where I've come from versus where I am now, which is where I am now is in a 3-bedroom apartment. So it kind of did the reverse from, you did well to going downsizing, but that's not actually what happened. So I probably started this scope a little sooner than I needed to because I'm far away. Well, for the most part, let's get into it. The subdivision I'm going to drive you through has houses that start at about $300,000 all the way up to $500,000. I lived out in this subdivision for about 3 to 4 years before I got divorced. What ended up happening was lesson number one: know when to say when. And investing, these go hand in hand because I was paying so much for this lifestyle that I wasn't able to invest in my business. That was one of the reasons, without going to the other personal reasons why my ex-wife and I are no longer together. It felt like a failure because I lost my business. I lost a lot of other things too, and I basically hit pretty close to rock bottom. Whereas now I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment. Bills are paid, I can afford my lifestyle, and I can afford to invest in my business. So, and that's the key. You have to invest in your business. If you're an entrepreneur, there's no way around it. You have to invest in your business, because if you don't invest in your business and you take all the proceeds and you spend those, you're looking for a bad situation, and you'll be out on the streets or back in the workforce, etc. Now, what happened with me, I was very fortunate because of my skill. I was able to be picked up by a major corporation. Rebuilding my business. I've rebuilt my life since, but it's been a bit of a challenge. And it's also embarrassing because when you go from, beautiful, and you'll see I'm pulling into the subdivision now. So beautiful subdivision. That's the American dream. We want stuff. Well, I had a little bit of stuff. And that stuff cost me my business. It cost me a lot of other things, pertaining to the, other relationships, etc. But if you're leaving comments, I can't really, I can't do too much on those comments. Okay, cops over there. So, all right, here, I'm going to drive through here so you can take a look at the subdivision. Beautiful subdivision, okay? Really, really nice subdivision. This is where I came from, and this is one of my failures, but it's actually what ultimately led to greater success. And just the key, you have to know when to say when. If you're in a business venture or in a business that's not doing what you needed to do, you don't necessarily need to quit. You might need to pivot and continue to invest in training, education, learn what you need to learn, be modest, but invest in yourself, invest in your business, and know when to say when. Sometimes you gotta let go, and that's like with my business, with my relationship, etc. I had to know when to say when. And you see these homes are beautiful homes. Like, I loved this subdivision. However, I go from a big $350,000 home to an apartment. It's a bit embarrassing, but at the end of the day, now I have a business that I'm rebuilding. It's much more stable. I'm much happier, and all because I did invest and I did continue to invest, and that is the key. I'm coming up on the home now. I've actually just passed it. So that's the key. That's what I wanted to show you. You know, this is where I came from. You know, it was great to brag and say, hey, you know, here's the homes that I lived in, and here's the homes that I had, and I've lived here, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, and I've passed the home since. I'm not going to point out which one it is, but at the end of the day, let's switch this back to me. At the end of the day, it's all about investing. You have to invest in yourself, invest in your business, and invest in the right people. This scope, I'll be scoping about business. I'll be scoping about, what else will we be scoping about? We'll be scoping about business, video marketing, which is my forte, marketing in general. Okay, lady, what are you doing? So just stay tuned. Go ahead and heart this up. You'll get the replay later. But again, I just want to, let's go back and take a look at some of these homes. I'll be back in a subdivision even better than this. And it's not really about the stuff. It's more about the people and the experiences for me now. It's no longer about stuff. But, you know, anything is possible. I went from here to where I am now. You know, nothing to really brag about, but I'm much better off from a business perspective. And I'm, you know, I'm much happier. You know, I lost it all for the most part, without going again into the personal of it. I lost it all. Almost even lost my kids, honestly, but got it together, and you know, it is what it is. So, you know, that's my biggest failure, from going from this to an apartment. I actually had to stay with somebody for a little bit. You know, almost financial ruin, but you know, I kept on keeping on, and I didn't give up on my business. I said, no, you know what, I have to do this. There's no way I can't do this, and you make it happen. And you know, I'm no superhero. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm just an average dude with average problems. But like I said, you know what, no matter what happens, you got to pick yourself up. You got to keep it moving, and you have to invest in yourself. That is of utter importance. Invest in yourself. Know when to pivot, and what was the third one? Know when to say when. All right, Damon Green, and I am going to sign off. I will have more scopes coming up, so look forward to those.